What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Inside ACW. Guys, it's been a long time since we've done this show, but we have an extremely special guest here today, a man that needs absolutely no introduction. He is the Stone Cold Badass of ACW, Dive On Inler. Welcome, Dive.
Thanks for having me here.
Oh, you're very welcome. You are someone I've definitely wanted to get on this for a long time, because you've been around ACW since nearly the beginning. Like you came in very, very early in ACW.
Yeah, I think I came in during the Soda Kill rivalry.
A major favourite amongst a lot of people. A lot of people have always mentioned that rivalry. But first, Dave, I want to ask you, what are your thoughts going into the pay-per-view this weekend? Of course, that being Clash of Fates, the second ever Clash of Fates we've ever done. What are your thoughts going towards that pay-per-view?
I feel like there's going to be a lot of big battles, a lot of big matches.
Oh, definitely.
Changing of titles.
You think there's going to be a title change?
I do.
Ooh,
now... at least one or two. I'm guessing, I don't know why, but I have a feeling Az is going to lose his title.
You think Az is going to lose to Reneth?
Yes.
What makes you think that?
It's just Reneth is a more overall powerful character.
Oh, I definitely agree.
Powerful wrestler.
Definitely, because over the time, those two have wrestled throughout the years. Well, when I say years, it's been the first year of ACW, Gen 2. But ACW feels like it's been around for years. Well, it has been around for years. But those two, every time they battle for the inmate championship, Az always came up short. But do you not think that his, performance lately has been so much better compared to his previous attempts? I think he's got a damn good shot this year, but you don't think so, no?
He has gotten a lot more tactical, but I don't know why. I have just a sneaky suspicion that Reneth is just going to snag that title off of him.
So you think he's absolutely going to destroy him? So you're definitely going to be betting on Reneth on Saturday night?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, that's what I like to hear, of course. Now, I personally would love to see Reneth win that back, of course. One of the greatest inmate champions of all time, plus sticking it to Az is just one of my favourite things to do. But of course, now you mentioned other titles as well. Now, don't forget, Damien, I believe Justin Phoenix, Nathan Henderson, and Daryl are all going for the World Heavyweight Championship. What are your thoughts on Damien's performance when he lost the title there? I believe it was on Tuesday night. Do you think he's going to win it back this weekend?
I don't think so. I think the title reign that Damien had is over and past, and I don't think he's going to win it again soon. I think it's going to be a long grind again.
Think they have to start from the bottom and work his way up again?
Yeah, because I don't see Damien winning it. I see Daryl or Phoenix winning it.
I'd love to see Phoenix win it. Like when he came out last night with that promo demanding to be in the match and putting his career on the line, I think everybody was like, what? What is this?
Yeah.
But as technically I am management towards the show, so I'm gonna give him that spot. Like if you're putting your damn career on the line, you're in the match. There's no doubt. But how heartbroken would you be? Like you've been around with Phoenix, you were there, you formed Evolution to bring Justin Phoenix into ACW. How much would it suck for you to see Phoenix go, losing potentially to one of your characters?
Oh, good old trip down memory road. I don't know. I feel like it would be a bit of a loss at first, but it could also give more opportunities for more new superstars if he does lose. But if he wins, that's going to be a title reign and a half.
Oh, I definitely agree. I think if Phoenix can somehow pull out a victory tomorrow night, it's going to be absolutely insane. I don't see him letting go of that title for a long time. And when he does, I think that's when he's going to go, right, okay, cool, done now, see ya.
Yeah.
Last time.
He ain't letting go of that title.
Nah, I don't think so. But I also don't really like his chances. He's not been performing well at all lately. So this could be a final hoorah for good old Justin Phoenix. But also, now, what are your thoughts on the generation versus generation? Of course, it was yourself, your superstar Dive On Inler, who did come out and announce he wants a gen versus gen match. What are your thoughts going into them? Of course, we did see last night Dive lost to Alistair, and also Scarlett lost to Katie Lee. I know you're sore about this, Dive. I gotta hear your thoughts.
Now, just to clarify, I am not sore that they won fair and square. Besides, they cheated. That was the only. That was the only thing that changed. They clearly cheated. Had the ref paid off and all. But no, I'm really excited for that match because it's gonna be a lot more chaotic than those matches last night.
Oh, definitely, especially with I know Dive brought Pro Johnny and Braxton to the field last night. That was definitely something special with those two coming down. But
that'll be interesting.
Oh yes, but there is a fourth member to the match, a surprise entrant coming into that match because we're not going to discuss that here tonight. But look out for that one, guys, because this is obviously probably going to go up after Clash of Fate, so I definitely want to see people's reactions to who that surprise entrant's going to be in the Gen 1 team. Some people are going to get it, it's going to be this person, and people are like, nah, it's going to be this person, but I think people are going to love it or they're going to hate it. But it's going to be one of those matches. But I think it's going to be absolutely insane. Who do you think is going to take the win, though? Do you think Gen 1 for the women or Gen 1 for the men? Who do you think is going to take the big overall?
I think the women definitely have a larger chance because I'm much more confident in the team that I chose for them.
The women's team
Like,
definitely.
the men's team is strong, but when you compare them to the team that Gen 2 could have, it's not. Like, they're quite evenly matched.
That's right. Yeah, you don't even know who Gen 2 is bringing, do you?
Yeah, no, I haven't a clue.
So basically, guys, for those listening in, Dive, I went to Dive because, of course, he is the team captain of Gen 1. He did lay out the challenge, so it's only fair. So I asked Dive who he wants to bring with him. Now, the difference is, I didn't ask him for Gen 2. Ladies and gentlemen, Willow Wolf herself will be deciding the superstars for Gen 2. And let's just put it this way, that match is going to be one for the ages. I know exactly who's on that match card, and it's going to be absolutely bananas tomorrow night. Of course, when I say tomorrow night, guys, again, this probably will be up afterwards. But Clash of Fates is going to be insane. If you guys missed Clash of Fates, make sure to check it out. Of course, coming at you live on the 6th of March 2021. Go and check it out on my Twitch channel. So then, guys, since ACW Clash of Fates has now occurred, we've actually brought Dive back to get his thoughts on the pay-per-view. So let's jump right into that. Dive, what are your thoughts on Clash of Fates now that we've actually been through the pay-per-view?
It was really good. Like, there were some matches that were underwhelming. That was either due to glitches in the game or just general, like, superstars not doing enough, you know?
Oh, I definitely can agree with that. There's a certain match that we're going to talk about that, it felt very, very lackluster on Saturday night. But first, let's start off with the Inmate Championship. Now, you said to me that Azzy doesn't stand a chance of winning. Well, you didn't say it in so much words, but you believe that Azzy didn't have a chance to retain the championship, and we've seen that he did. What are your thoughts on that opening match?
Well, that was very awkward. You see, I had a lot of confidence in Reneth, and I think that's what screwed him over. You know, I think he was overhearing me, and then he was like, "Okay, nah, this is too much pressure. I'm gonna just bail out."
But no, okay, let's also talk about that finish though. Like, Reneth had that match in the bag. Both men, a lot of big moves.
Yeah.
It looked like Reneth's gonna take it, but going up to the top rope, I had this feeling. Even doing the commentary, I was like, "Okay, this is it. Reneth now goes to the top rope. He's going to jump off and he's going to nail Azzy with something insane and he's going to win it and the title's coming home with Reneth." And then that RKO out of nowhere. What the hell?
That was so perfectly executed.
Oh my god, it was so good.
But I knew something like that was going to happen because he kept going to the top ropes. Reneth doesn't do that often. He did that a lot in that match.
He doesn't usually go to the top rope, but to me it just seemed like a moment of, well, I'm going to put on a hell of a show tonight. If we're starting the show, we're doing something big. And it just cost him. Like, do you think he really should have not?
Yeah, like it kind of looked more like the general manager was telling him before the show, just like, just jump a lot, you know?
yeah. Kill said jump a lot. Yeah, that's a good idea. And Rand's like, oh, okay. As he's like, well, if you're gonna keep jumping on me, well, how am I gonna make you pay for it?
Yeah.
But of course, next up, guys, we had the Gen vs. Gen for the women. Of course, Scarlett, Harley, and Lilith teaming up to take on Tia Wolf, Katie Lee, and Eliara. What are your thoughts on that match?
That went poorly, considering like Scarlett was out like, pretty much straight away. Once she was gone, it was over. I'd like the leader was gone. Do you know?
Oh, no, I personally enjoyed that match myself. Like Eliara, of course, disappointingly being eliminated first, following then Scarlett as well. You know, but I found like when it came down to the tag team of Tia, Katie, Harley, and Lilith. Now that's when that match really took off.
There were a lot of moves after that match. Like, a lot of big stuffs.
A lot of big stuff happened now. Of course, the battle on the outside. It was almost like a street fight at one point between Lilith and Katie Lee. Like that was something shocking. But did you
possible
think
rivalry?
Potentially, it could be. You never know what could happen. But did you think that once Scarlett was gone for sure, that was it for Gen 1?
I didn't think for sure. I had some sort of hope, but I don't know. Whenever the leader's gone, I always feel like that's half a team then.
Of course, as well. This is a big one now. I know you weren't really too hyped on this one, but I still think it was definitely a good match. What do you think of the father versus son match? Nathan Henderson versus Jacob.
It was pretty good, to be fair.
Better than you expected?
It was better than I expected, but I also expected something decent because like there was a legend in the match, you know. Like if Jacob Henderson wasn't in that match, then I don't think it would have been half as good because they were quite evenly matched.
They really were. That's what I found interesting about the match. You know, both being like father and son. Jacob Henderson, you can tell he taught Nathan a hell of a lot. But of course, next up, of course, women's title on the line. Of course, that's the Women's MMA Championship, Alora versus Arcana. Now, personally, for me, I thought Arcana didn't stand a ghost of a chance.
I thought the same thing. That's why I was like, okay, I'm going to go Arcana. But then I seen Alora, I was like, I'm going Alora. I didn't think she could do it.
That has to be the consensus for everybody as well going into that match. Allura is so dominant. Arcana, like her longest title reign before was what, 2 days? I think it was, and then Allura, there was, it was actually Allura that took it off her for her third reign.
I find her way better at pay-per-views.
Yeah, kind of like she has been putting on a hell of a lot of performances. Like during the week, not so much, but yeah, as you say, pay-per-views, she really does seem to step it up. And I'm very happy for her. You know, I'm absolutely delighted to see her as women's champion. A shocker, nonetheless. But damn good to see her as champion now.
Hopefully this reign lasts.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna deliberately make sure there's nothing there that can stop her. But hey, man, if Eliara comes out and cashes in, you know, it's not on me. Now, of course, to me, the main event of the night. That's not the actual main event, but to me, it might as well have been. This is my favorite match of the night: Queen versus Queen, the knockout match. Willow Wolf versus Alexandra.
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
That was a shocker because of how well Alexandra had been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And how Willow wasn't doing. She wasn't doing poorly, but she wasn't exactly shining as we've seen her before.
No, she definitely wasn't the queen that we once knew. But that match, like, you gotta admit, it was so heart-wrenching for both superstars. I love Alexandra, I really do.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm the biggest fan of Willow. But like going to that match, I was like, I constantly had this feeling of I want Willow to win, but I don't see it happening. You know? And when like the match kept going on, every time Alexandra, like when she hit that Texas pile driver, aka the Devil's pile driver, I was like, that's it, it's over. But Willow stood up. I was like,
Excuse me?
I was like, what? How the hell are you still going? But then, of course, when Willow finally won it, I think that was just the icing on the cake. It was like, oh my god, sorry Alexandra, but Willow, oh yes, just the queen, just rose that night. It was so good. And of course, now this is a big one for you because if anyone that's listening, and of course you guys, you'll know from the previous moments, Dive did say that Damien will not win the World Championship. And Clash of Fates, Dive was oh so wrong. Of course, guys, we're talking about the Fatal 4-Way ladder match, the official main event. Of course, Daryl, Damien, Nathan Henderson, and of course, Justin Phoenix. Of course, Phoenix's career being on the line, but we'll get to that. First, Dive, what are your thoughts on Damien winning the damn thing?
I couldn't be wronger. I can't. The fact that he won, like, it doesn't upset me, but it definitely makes me feel like a moron. Predicting it wrong.
Makes you feel a little bit silly.
Yeah, because it's like, I had a quarter chance of getting that guess like right.
I definitely go to that match. I didn't see it. I didn't see Damien winning that match either. Like, just speaking to you beforehand, I was like, nah, you're right, man. There's no way in hell Damien's going to get this. I really wanted Phoenix to win it. And Phoenix almost did. Like, he had a lot of chances to win that match. He was on fire in that match. Like, there was the FU to the ladder, FU on the outside in the concrete. He was just tearing the house down. Like, what a final match for Justin Phoenix. Like, no doubt that's how you want to go out. You know, as on nearly on top, shall we say, but he get the best performance of a lifetime at Clash of Fates. Like, what are your thoughts now on Phoenix's performance at Clash of Fates?
He did really well, especially like with all those action-packed moves, you know, Action Jackson. But
his 4 moves of doom.
Yeah, but I also think it's kind of set up Dwayne with such high standards now that he's gone. It's like, oh, so you got to do all this.
Yeah, so you got to live up to the name of Hellboy and Justin, aka the Punisher Phoenix.
And we thought Phoenix couldn't live up to Hellboy, but
he did. He really did, though.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, very, very proud of what Phoenix has done. Like, I'm gonna miss Phoenix, I really am. But you know, everyone's day has to come at some point. All right, guys, let's move on. But of course, Dave, I want to ask you next. How did you originally find ACW?
When I found ACW, it was through obviously other streams. When I found you first, it was on Rainbow Six Siege, and the way I transitioned into ACW was you were like, oh, you know, there's this wrestling show. Do you wanna watch this? And I was like, hey, this isn't Siege. No.
Hey, at least you're honest, man.
Yeah, but then I found out you didn't have to actually like own the game, and I was like, oh, yeah, no, I'm down for that. I don't have my own character. I thought it was pretty cool. And obviously, when I came in, you like to make it hard on the newbies. So when I came in and I was bold, I was upset and I was sad because I didn't like my favorite wrestler, Edge. He has locks of hair.
He does. Edge has beautiful hair.
And out comes Dive with just no hair at all. You know, the bald scalp that he has.
Hey, he has a touch of hair, kinda, slightly.
Yeah, after I asked you for some hair, and you gave me skids on his head.
To be fair, yeah, like, you asked for hair, and I was like, I went through a bunch of different styles. I was like, I really like this guy bald. We didn't have a bald character. I was like, this guy, we're gonna keep him bald, but Dive really, really, really wants hair. So I was like, let's go through some mohawks, and nothing would work. He looked so dumb. I was like, you know what? Let's give him this like little bit of patch of hair. It's like an old man balding was the initial joke I was going with.
Yep.
And I was like, this just doesn't work at all. I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I slapped on some tattoos to the side of his head, which of course you can see in the image. And I was like, oh my god, this works. And I sent it to you, and you were like, no, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I was like, nah, running with it. You hate it, I'm running with it.
Bad person.
But that's what I did with everybody. When everyone first came into ACW, I deliberately make you the worst star I could think of. Alongside someone pretty badass. Like, obviously everyone knows your gimmick is roughly Stone Cold Steve Austin, but with its own flair. And I was like, this is just too perfect. He hates it. And of course, my plan was at the time, is if you hate your current design and are still willing to stick around, then I would happily upgrade you and make you better. And people were like, oh my god, my character looks so good now. Or they just fall in love with him. Like you gotta admit, you basically fell in love with Dive in the end.
I did. He's cool. He's cool.
He is a badass. Like, me and you, we have many, many rivalries throughout ACW, throughout our time, both Psychotic Kill and Dive On Inler. Of course, which does bring me to your time in Gen 1 Dive. Like, just speaking of those rivalries, one that definitely comes to mind is you trying to win the World Championship. How many attempts did you have? I think, on memory, I recall at least 6. At least 6 different attempts before you won the damn thing.
Okay, well, I actually didn't know, but thank you for showing me that number. You're a nice person. I wasn't counting. I was just counting on winning, and it wasn't happening.
Oh no, everyone else in the chat was definitely counting. I remember a cool guy, he was definitely counting down back in the day. He was like, yeah, that's another loss for Dive.
Add that to the tally of failures.
Hey, it may be a tally of failures, but in the end, Dive
but
became
it made
the
the victory much more sweet.
Now,
so
I have to ask you this. Since you did win your very first World Championship by, well, whooping my ass, was there anyone else you would have loved to have beaten, or was beating me just the pinnacle of, yeah, screw you?
I found it amazing how I was beating you, because you're literally the manager of ACW, and I'm like, screw you for not letting me win this sooner.
That's what it did seem like to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy when you think about it. It did look like for a while. I think we did actually run a story where I did intervene at one point to stop you from winning, just to screw you over, because I thought, this will be funny. I remember we used to have so many discussions. You'd be like, Kill, why am I not winning? I don't know, dude. I got nothing to do with it. And then a week later, I'll come out and attack you before your match. I'm like, oh, sorry, bro.
I remember there's some correlation to this. I remember Dive finally took off when I finally got a mic. It was almost like it was destined,
It really was. Like, you finally got a microphone.
Like, correlated weirdly,
And then all of a sudden, the character's like, you know what? I've got a mic now. I've got a mic in my hand as well. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Like, that was, your time in Gen 1 was absolutely insane. Like, some of the greatest moments I definitely have, of course, obviously with myself, but some of the great rivalries you had. I remember your very first rivalry, I believe, was Spine Thunder. What are your thoughts on that one?
Oh, that was amazing, because they were both massive powerhouses. They couldn't really get the edge over each other, but when they did, it made for an insane match.
I think you guys actually put on the very first ever, like, street fight without intentionally doing it.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I know we put you in a full scale match, which is technically, I suppose, almost like a street fight, but we know how those matches tend to go. A lot of the time, the superstars will just sit inside the ring. But, you two was like, I remember the match started, and both of you just split the ring immediately, got out either side, and just spent the entire night outside. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, no, Thunder gave me a grand tour. He held my hand through it all. He was very nice, very, very gesturable.
Oh yeah, I suppose it was very nice when he threw you into the concrete and smashed your head off it a few times. Yeah, that was very gracious.
Hey, he showed me the wall. Oh, speaking of the wall, do you remember the invisible wall?
Ah, yes, the great old invisible wall of ACW stage. Yeah, I remember that very bloody well. What is your favorite memory from Gen 1 Dive?
Well, obviously my bald skull. No, finally winning the big one.
Finally winning the
World there's not really a contest.
So winning the World Championship against Psychotic Kill. That's a fair one.
Just the pure adrenaline and the energy that the rest of the night was just amazing.
I'd have to say that probably definitely, as we mentioned.
Everyone in Discord was buzzing. Everyone on the chat was buzzing. It was amazing.
Yeah, to be fair, actually, you're not wrong there. Everyone was going crazy. Like, I don't know.
Mhm.
At first, I felt like it kind of was like, against me, like, ha, kill, screw you. You know, you finally lost the world title. But it was like, nah. That's what I felt at first. I was like, wait, what? No, everyone's just so hyped up for Dive to finally win the big one. And that went
Yeah.
on for like a week. It was crazy.
Mhm.
And it was so good, but that just shows how much passion again people have and how much people have invested into your character, not just yourself or myself, but how much other people are invested in. That's got to make you feel good too, right?
Mhm. And obviously speaking of Kiss Ass and all that, you know, you did a great job building that up. Okay, you did good.
I did good. Like, to be fair, we went into that, and myself and Willow actually sat down. We're like, okay, it's time for Dive to win. And I was like, are you sure?
Because there's been nothing with that much energy.
Yeah, there was never any of that
That's
energy
good.
before.
No.
I think the payoff was definitely worth it. That
Mhm.
was, what was it?
We need another loser Inler, man. That was amazing.
Oh, I can make things happen.
Now, not with my one, you know.
I don't know, man. You know, Damien.
Oh, poor Damien. He's won it before. You gotta be with Striker.
But it goes, let's move on quickly to your favorite rivalry from ACW.
I think this is pretty predictable of me, but it's the Ultimate Maniacs versus Evolution.
Ooh, yes, that would be yourself, Spine Thunder, and I want to say Hellboy?
Yeah, it was Hellboy at first.
Hellboy, and then it was Psychotic Kill, Shadow, and Soda. I believe it was the Ultimate Maniacs. Now, that has to be, I think that's everybody's favorite rivalry back in the day. And I remember how that one went. It was, Evolution won all the championships. And then it was the Ultimate Maniacs trying to take you guys down.
Trying, they succeeded very quickly.
Oh, we did. A little bit too quickly.
Yeah, but it's because the three of you were having like massive rivalries at the time, and you just said, all right, we'll put that aside for now. We'll just take down these guys. And they put their mind to it, and they just destroyed us.
That's right. I think it ended in Hell in a Cell. If Ultimate Maniacs won, Evolution would have to disband, and that lasted what, like a week?
Yeah,
like a whole week. But that was definitely an amazing rivalry. Like, I don't think we've ever done anything as good.
Whacked Evolution is the next generation, like the poor people.
The poor man's Evolution, yeah.
The poor Evolution, man.
What was it when you took over Evolution the second time? Wasn't it when you took over from Thunder and brought in Justin Phoenix instead of Hellboy? Yeah, that didn't last long.
Yeah. No. Without Hellboy, we were kind of lost for like well, the Punisher isn't exactly terrible.
No,
but he's not. He's in 1v1s. He's always like a 50-50 chance. Unlike other superstars where you see, oh, you know, they probably have like a 75% chance of winning. When you compare it to Phoenix, anyway.
As I say, Phoenix has been a fantastic superstar, and I definitely hope to get him on someday as well. Talk about his character. But like, I remember when Phoenix first came into Evolution, like you were the leader, leading him on. But I remember mostly was you were so annoyed at his performance, you end up whooping his ass, trying to get him in shape, and then it all backfired on you because Phoenix then, I remember, turning on Evolution to whoop your booty and actually going to win his first world title.
Yeah, there's a lot of memory lanes down here, isn't there?
There's a lot. There's like, it's crazy when you think about it all. There's a lot to remember.
We just at a crossroads or something. Come on, man.
It's time to close ACW's doors at this point, lad. Too many memories. Both get sad here. But of course, actually, that's a pretty good point. Though. Like, we talked a lot about the past today. What are your thoughts on the future?
The future of ACW or the future of my characters in general? What?
Both. Mostly ACW. What do you think the future is for both these superstars too?
Okay. As for superstars, I think a Striker might rise up, finally do something. Damien, I think his future is. I think he's already had his time in the sun, but I think there's at least one more big flash of light. You know, I think he's getting at least one more world title run. I think he's got at least one more in him. And for ACW in general, I definitely see it being successful. And the saddest part is I definitely see it going out with a bang.
Oh, definitely. We're gonna make sure of that
for when it does leave. Yeah.
But of course, now with that said, if there's one thing you could change in ACW, what would it be?
Now, I made a joke before we started about how I definitely want more success for my characters, but no, I think what I really want is to see more rookie turned world title holder, like massive runs, you know, like big old roads ahead of them, a very long journey to
the world title,
to success.
So you'd like to see like another Dive On Inler kind of style where they have to work so hard to get to the big one.
Because when they do, it's the most hype that there is.
But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up here. Dive On Inler, thank you so much for joining me today, my dude. I really do appreciate it.
It was fun.
Hell yeah. Would you do it again, Dave?
100%.
Ooh, sweet. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Dive's already up for potentially a future podcast. Of course, guys, we're actually planning on something new. That's not just Inside ACW. So, of course, guys, if you're enjoying Inside ACW, stay tuned for more news coming up in the future for a potentially new style of podcast, not just about ACW, of course. And I will hopefully be getting Dive back on to actually join me for that. But again, guys, of course, follow me on Twitter at kill_psychotic for more news on that. And of course, guys, make sure to follow Dive at...
okay. Well, it's at Dive On Inler on Twitter. It's at Dive On Inler on Twitch. You know, it's at Dive On Inler everywhere. Go follow me. I'm very cool.
But ladies and gentlemen, as always, stay crazy. Dive?
Stay psychotic.
Oh, hell yeah. All right, guys, we'll catch you in the next one.